Welcome to SunLit Story Time, a new podcast sharing short stories that leave you feeling great. My name is Megan Kelly, and I'll be your host. In today's fast-paced world, we could all use a short respite at times, a reminder to take a deep breath. Which is why at SunLit Story Time, we only publish stories that make you feel great. With each 15-minute episode, you'll hear a fictional short story written by a different author. Our content is appropriate for all audiences, and we try to steer away from anything too controversial or political. Our stories are purely entertaining. The podcast will launch on Monday, August 20th, and to get started, we're releasing 3 stories that day and 6 more throughout our first week. After that, you'll hear a new story every Monday morning to get your week started off right. To give you an idea of what to expect, here are 2 previews of upcoming stories. In Husk of Rhino by Tyrell Kessinger, an aging rhinoceros discusses philosophy with an eastern indigo snake named Serpent.
Beyond my coral, as it were, past the giraffe pasture, is a building called the Herp Aquarium, which I know because an eastern indigo snake that I call Serpent told me. She just escaped, she informed me, after slithering into my domain on her way out. We conversed some before she continued on, talking about our old lives and our time as captives, and where she might go from here. We got along well even when our differences of philosophy were revealed. Her belief in predestination against mine of free will. "I hope you make it out, Serpent," I said, as she oozed away. She turned and smiled, the way only a snake can. "What is to be will be, Rhino."
In City of Stories by Abigail Anklam, we travel to the magical city of Verily, where every brick, stone, and column is an individual story.
Inside the luminous rotunda, the tour guide instructed each of us to touch one of the marble floor tiles. When I touched one with my bare fingertips, an ancient story appeared, whole and clear in my mind, of an inexperienced militia defeating a vast army of skilled warriors. It was an edifying tale of faith and cooperation, and I knew every detail in an instant. The faces of the men, the weapons they carried, how they attacked at night using torches and noise to confuse the enemy.
The SunLit team is dedicated to producing a consistently great podcast. But the real magic comes from our writers and our listeners. If you know a writer with a feel-great story, we'd love to read it. So please tell them to check out our guidelines at sunlitstorytime.com/submissions. To keep up with new episodes, see photos of our authors, and the pictures that accompany each story, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SunLit Storytime. If social media is not your thing, you can always listen to or read the stories directly on our website, sunlitstorytime.com. And now, I'd like to leave you with the same advice we offer before every story. Take a deep breath. Relax, and give yourself permission to feel great. This episode was produced, directed, and edited by Megan Kelly. SunLit Fiction was conceived by our editor and executive producer, Patrick Kelly. Social media and marketing by Susie Kelly. Music for the podcast by Celestial Sound. My name is Megan Kelly. See you next time.